This Sunday, Japan experienced a 2-week period of severe cold and blizzard weather, the worst in recent years. The accumulation of a large amount of ice and snow has caused great disasters and troubles to the local area, and has attracted great attention from all walks of life. The cold wave swept the northern and western coastal areas of Japan, causing record snowfall in Aomori Prefecture, Niigata Prefecture, Yamagata Prefecture, and other places. The depth of snow in the Tsuyu area of Aomori Prefecture exceeded 1 meters, and the thickness of snow in many places in Niigata Prefecture exceeded 3 meters. These amazing snowfalls have set local historical records. According to data from the meteorological department, as of February Arshusan, the depth of snow in the Tsuyu area of Aomori City reached 1 centimeters, and the thickness of snow in Yuanama City, Niigata Prefecture, was as high as 3 centimeters. In Hirosaka City, Aomori Prefecture, the local snow accumulation set a record high in recorded history, reaching 3 centimeters. These figures are undoubtedly amazing. Previously, many cities in the northeastern region of Japan and the coastal areas of Chugoku had never seen such large-scale snowfall. Even the Tokai, Kinki, and Shikoku regions, which usually have less snow, have seen snow accumulation this time. This cold wave has undoubtedly brought unprecedented challenges to all parts of Japan. The huge amount of snow not only impacted people's daily lives, but also seriously affected the traffic conditions in the region. Many highways and national roads connecting the east and the west were forced to take temporary closure measures to deal with possible traffic accidents and safety hazards. Affected by this, public transportation, such as the Shinkansen and buses in Japan, have also been suspended or seriously delayed on a large scale. Some passengers have to temporarily change their itineraries. On February Arshusan alone, several Shinkansen trains were delayed for up to 2 minutes. The scene at some ski resorts is even more shocking. A ski resort in Nagano Prefecture suddenly had a cable car failure on the morning of the Arshusan RD, causing Chishuchi tourists to be trapped in the cold wind for more than hours, and some of them were rushed to the hospital due to hypothermia. This accident undoubtedly brought great panic and pain to the tourists who encountered the accident. In general, this sudden blizzard disaster has brought serious impacts on traffic order in various parts of Japan and caused many inconveniences to the travel and life of the general public. Traffic control and paralysis of public transportation have become typical scenes under the ravages of this cold wave. In addition to the difficulties in transportation, this strong cold wave has also had varying degrees of impact on Japan's economy and corporate production. Toyota, an automobile manufacturer, said that due to the temporary closure of some key sections to prevent excessive snow accumulation, the transportation of parts was blocked, and Shujo production lines in Jo factories in central Japan had to be suspended from the morning to the afternoon of the same day. Although the production lines were able to resume operation in the evening as the road conditions improved, this obviously caused considerable trouble to the normal production plan of the company. At the same time, some ski resorts that rely on the snow season also suffered. The accident at the ski resort in Nagano Prefecture mentioned above not only posed a hidden danger to the safety of tourists, but also dealt a blow to the operation of the ski resort. In the face of this cold wave, they had to temporarily suspend business, casting a shadow on their future prospects. As one of Japan's important pillar industries, the automobile manufacturing industry was not spared. Toyota Motors said that due to the temporary closure of some key logistics and transportation routes to prevent dangerous accidents caused by heavy snow accumulation, Shujo production lines in the company's 9 factories in central Japan had to be shut down from the morning to the afternoon of the same day. Although the production lines were able to resume operation in the evening as road conditions improved, this undoubtedly caused considerable trouble to the company's normal production plan. For an automaker of this size, even a short shutdown may cause a certain degree of economic loss. Unlike the manufacturing industry, ski resorts that rely on the snow season are the first to bear the brunt. As mentioned earlier, a ski resort in Nagano Prefecture suddenly had a cable car failure on the morning of February 4, causing Chishuchi tourists to be trapped in the cold wind for more than hours. In this dangerous accident, 3 people were rushed to the hospital for treatment due to hypothermia. Although all the trapped tourists were eventually rescued and returned safely, the accident undoubtedly cast a shadow on the operation of the ski resort. In order to ensure the safety of tourists, the ski resort had to temporarily suspend business, which undoubtedly dealt a heavy blow to its operations. For some ski resorts that specialize in serving winter tourism, being forced to close in such blizzard weather is undoubtedly adding insult to injury. In addition to putting pressure on corporate production and economic development, this strong cold wave event also poses potential risks to the personal safety of local residents. As mentioned above, in the accident at the ski resort in Nagano Prefecture, 3 tourists were rushed to the hospital due to hypothermia. Although their lives were not threatened in the end, this case undoubtedly sounded the alarm. At the same time, a large amount of snow also brings serious safety hazards such as avalanches and falling objects. Once such an accident occurs, it may not only cause casualties, but also damage surrounding houses and infrastructure. The meteorological department has clearly called on local residents to be vigilant and guard against these catastrophic natural events. In this record-breaking blizzard weather, a shocking scene appeared across Japan. From vehicles and streets buried in the snow to tourists trapped on the ski resort cable car for hours, these scenes all reflect the huge disaster caused by this cold wave to the local area. Niigata Prefecture is one of the hardest-hit areas of this severe cold wave, where a large amount of snow has accumulated to a height higher than that of an average person. Here, the trunk that was originally used to load goods is now completely covered with thick white snow, and even the outline of the other vehicles parked next to it can hardly be seen. The scene on the street is equally shocking. In the pictures taken by NHK reporters in the Devil's Lake area of Niigata Prefecture, it can be clearly seen that the snow has covered people's knees and even close to the height of the waist. For local residents, just walking on the street has become a huge challenge. In order to ensure smooth traffic, they have to carry out difficult snow removal work without sleep. Compared with the vehicles and streets buried in the snow, the cable car failure accident at a ski resort in Nagano Prefecture is undoubtedly more frightening. According to reports, on the morning of February 4, the Jojoar meter-long high-speed cable car of the ski resort suddenly stopped operating without warning, causing Chishuchi tourists to be trapped in the air in the cold wind for more than hours. It is heartbreaking that in this dangerous accident, 3 tourists were rushed to the hospital for treatment due to hypothermia. Although all the trapped people were rescued in the end, this accident undoubtedly sounded the alarm for ski enthusiasts. For ski resorts that rely on the winter economy, such accidents not only pose a hidden danger to the safety of tourists' lives, but also cast a shadow on their business prospects. Faced with such a large amount of snow, not only ordinary people feel exhausted, but even professional snow removal workers complain of exhaustion. When interviewing a resident from Niigata Prefecture, NHK reporters heard his helpless feelings. It's too tiring to be busy removing snow every morning. It can be imagined that for these Japanese people who are unfortunately living in the center of the blizzard, snow removal has undoubtedly become a difficult housework. In the flying snow, they have to use shovels to clear the snow again and again to ensure the passage in front of their homes. Such continuous labor has undoubtedly put a huge burden on their physical and mental health. The most amazing thing about this cold wave in Japan is probably the highest snowfall record in history. Take Aomori Prefecture, for example. The snow depth in the Suyu area of the prefecture reached 1 centimeters on February 13, which is equivalent to nearly 1 meters. This number not only set a new record in the local history, but also shocked people. On the same day, Uonuma City in Niigata Prefecture also recorded sanbaichi centimeters of snow, which is higher than the standard of a floor. For the northeastern region of Japan, which has always been regarded as a heavy snow zone, such a snowfall is undoubtedly historic. Even places where it rarely snows have seen good snowfall data this time. For example, Shiga Prefecture in the Kinki region had an increase of 3 centimeters of snow in just little hours on February 13, which surprised local residents. I have never seen such heavy snow. There is nearly 3 centimeters of new snow every day. I have to go out to shovel snow every day this week. A resident of Shiga Prefecture said with emotion, "For the Japanese living in this white hell, such an astronomical amount of snow is undoubtedly an unprecedented challenge. It not only brings many inconveniences to their daily lives, but also has a serious impact on the infrastructure and traffic order in various places." Faced with such a large amount of snow, it is difficult for ordinary residents to cope with it alone. Local governments and relevant departments have to invest a lot of manpower and mechanical equipment in continuous snow removal. The Devil Lake area in Niigata Prefecture is a typical example. In front of the NHK reporter's camera, it can be clearly seen that the local snowplows are struggling to clear the white snow covering the streets. However, even with the assistance of professional equipment, local residents still feel exhausted. It's too tiring to be busy with snow removal every morning. A Niigata resident said helplessly, "It can be imagined that for these frontline snow removal workers, they face continuous fatigue and physical and mental pressure every day. Waving a shovel in the cold wind and trying to clear the snow is a job that tests both physical strength and endurance. Under the test of this severe winter, they are paying a heavy price for society. In addition to the serious impact on people's daily life and social infrastructure, this sudden blizzard also hit local agricultural production hard. The apple orchard in Aomori Prefecture is a heartbreaking example. Under the lens of the reporter, the apple trees that should have been full of bright red fruits are now completely covered with white snow, and even half of them are buried in the snow. Aomori Prefecture is a famous apple-producing area in Japan, but this strong cold wave has undoubtedly brought a heavy blow to local farmers. According to industry insiders, this disaster may reduce the local apple production by little tons. For farmers who rely on agricultural harvests, such losses are undoubtedly a heavy blow. After a year of hard work, they hope to get the due rewards from the harvest, but now they have encountered an unprecedented disaster. Under the ravages of this white hell, their sweat and dreams have once again turned into bubbles. Under the ravages of this record-breaking blizzard, all sectors of Japan are taking a series of response measures to try to minimize the impact of the disaster on people's lives and social order. From the early warning and control of the government and meteorological departments to the spontaneous self-rescue and mutual rescue of residents and enterprises, the whole society is working tirelessly to fight this severe winter together. Faced with this strong cold wave sweeping across the country, The Japanese government and meteorological departments took a series of response measures as soon as possible. According to reports, the Japan Meteorological Agency issued relevant warnings for key areas such as Niigata, Ishikawa, and Nagano in response to the upcoming heavy snow weather on the morning of February Arshusan, reminding the public to beware of disasters such as avalanches and road icing caused by it. At the same time, the authorities also announced the temporary closure of some highways and national highways to prevent serious traffic accidents caused by the snowstorm. At the same time, local governments in Japan also urgently mobilized and took all-out actions. In Niigata Prefecture, the local government joined hands with the Aomori city government to carry out a large-scale snow removal operation in order to improve work efficiency and ensure smooth traffic. It can be said that in the face of this blizzard, the Japanese government and meteorological department fully played the role of early warning and control and tried to avoid greater damage caused by the disaster. Their timely response undoubtedly provided important support for the general public. Faced with the increasingly severe heavy snow situation, not only the government, but also ordinary people and enterprises have spontaneously joined the ranks of disaster relief. In areas such as Niigata Prefecture, residents have to get up early every morning and work on the snow-covered streets with shovels. Despite their sore arms, they still persevere in clearing the snow to ensure access to their homes. It can be said that for the Japanese living in this white hell, snow removal has become a daily task that must be completed. At the same time, some companies have also taken the initiative to suspend production to ensure the safety of employees and equipment. As mentioned earlier, Toyota Motors had to stop production from the morning to the afternoon of the same day because some key transportation routes were forced to be closed. Although this has brought some impact on the company's normal production plan, this safety-first approach is undoubtedly worthy of praise. It can be said that under the test of this severe winter, Japanese society is exerting its own strength. Whether it is the early warning and control by the government and meteorological departments, or the self-rescue and mutual rescue by residents and businesses, they are all contributing their own efforts to fight this disaster together.